Hello everyone, we are from Group 9. Today we'll be introducing to you one of the greatest economists, Irving Fisher. He was one of the American greatest mathematical economists. He was born in New York in 1867. He studied science and philosophy in Yale University. He published poetry and works on astronomy, mechanics and geometry, but his greatest concentration was on mathematics and economics. Fisher was the greatest economist the US has ever produced. He made important contributions to utility theory, the quantity theory of money, general equilibrium, theory of capital, and interest rate. Fisher also was the pioneer of the development of index number and stock markets. In 1891, he gained his doctoral degree and stayed in Yale for teaching from 1892 to 1895, retired as a professor in 1935. During 1911, he published The Purchasing Power of Money. He developed the modern concept of the relationship between changes in the money supply and changes in general price levels. In this theory, Fisher has stated that as the quantity of money in circulation increases, the price levels also increases, indirectly proportional, and the value of money decreases and vice versa, while other things remaining unchanged. He had completely recast the theory of money into his quantity theory of money equation MB plus MB equal to PT. He formulated his theory in terms of the equation of exchange, which says that MB equal to PT, where M is the quantity of currency, V is the velocity of circulation, P is the average level of prices, and T is the quantity of goods and services transacted or sold. Fisher saw 5 determinants of the purchasing of money, or its inverse, the price levels. First, the volume of currency in circulation, its velocity of circulation, the volume of bank deposit subject to checks, its velocity, and the volume of trade. He has wrote that it is true in the sense that one of the normal effects of an increase in the quantity of money is an exactly proportional increase in the general level of prices. During 1922, Fisher had developed the ideal index in the geometric mean of Paschen and last pair index, which were later published in his book, The Making of Index Number.
Fisher was the first to not only create price indexes, but also highlighted the distinction between nominal and real interest rate. During 1930, he published a theory of interest, which had stated that the rate of interest is based on the supply of savings and on the demand for capital as determined by the present and future outlook for investment opportunities, also distinguished between the nominal and real interest rates. Irving Fisher used the book to answer the fundamental changes in the nature of the world economy, including financing, the sensational inflation of the currencies of the combatants, and the remarkable developments in new scientific, industrial, and agricultural revolution. Today, we are going to have a brief look on the two main theories developed by Fisher in this book, Fisher effect and international Fisher effect. Fisher effect theory describes the relationship between inflation and both real and nominal interest rates. The Fisher effect can be seen each time you go to the bank. The interest rate an investor has on a savings account is really the nominal interest rate. The smaller the real interest rate, the longer it will take for savings deposits to grow substantially when observed from a purchasing power perspective. Fisher perceived two factors intersecting to establish the interest rate, which are the impatience rate and the investment opportunity rate. The impatience rate: the less impatient, the more one is willing to save and invest, thereby gaining future consumption. The more impatient, the less one is willing to give up present consumption in order to obtain goods in the future. The investment opportunity rate states as people cut back present consumption to increase investment and thereby to obtain greater future consumption, the rate of return on investment falls. This simply is the previously discussed principle of diminishing marginal returns associated with additions to the capital stock. The Fisher effect is more than just an equation. It shows how the money supply affects the nominal interest rate and inflation rate as a tandem. This theory is widely used in calculating the returns of investments or in predicting the behavior of nominal and real interest rates. The International Fisher effect, IFE, is an economic theory stating that the expected disparity between the exchange rate of two currencies is approximately equal to the difference between their countries' nominal interest rates. The International Fisher effect states that differences in nominal interest rates between countries can be used to predict changes in exchange rates. The IFE provides for the assumption that countries with lower interest rates will likely also experience lower levels of inflation, which can result in increases in the real value of associated currency when compared to other nations. By contrast, nations with higher interest rates will experience depreciation in the value of their currency. In practice, evidence of the IFE is mixed, and in recent years, direct estimation of currency exchange movements from expected inflation is more common. To conclude everything, Fisher, as one of the greatest economists, had contributed to the development of economics using mathematical and statistical procedures as well as developing theories. In this video, we have learned the equation of exchange, Fisher effect, and international Fisher effect. Now, let's test our understandings. Question 1.
State 5 determinants of the purchasing power of money.
The answer is volume of currency in circulation, its velocity of circulation, volume of bank deposits subject to check, its velocity, and volume of trade. Did you get it right? And second, what are the two factors affecting the interest rate in Fisher effect? The answer is the impatience rate and the investment opportunity rate. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it.